What's the buzz? This is Zeta Beetle, and welcome back to Galactic Swarm Squad. Today, I'm basically acting like a pirate. What that means is, I'm going to be burying stuff, opening chests, and many other things that you would see a pirate do. Probably not everything, but hey, you know what? Typical pirates in cartoons don't really mimic real-life pirates anyway, so let's get going. Starting off this, we are going to collect gnomes at Fort Crumpet and destroy sofas, beds, or chairs. So, essentially what this means is, I'm going to be collecting the things that I'm going to be burying in this round, so that I can bury them in the next. Sound fun? Alright, let's go then. So, I land here at Fort Crumpet, and I land just outside of it because I feel like I had searched pretty much everywhere inside of the complex. So, thinking that some of the gnomes may be outside, I decide to search the outside for a little bit, and then go on in when I don't really see a pointy hat or a stubby body of them. So this is another minor storyline that we're going for in this season. The little tussle, I would guess, between Grimble and Doggo. Basically what that means is Doggo grabs and buries the gnomes that Grimble is supposedly in charge of, and Grimble charges you to dig them back up and rescue them from their situation. So, yeah. I forget exactly which of us does what, but I know for a fact, through my notes, that I'm the one that collects them up and essentially buries them in Pleasant Park. Only to have one of my other competitors dig it right back up for Grimble. But I don't really care, since that doesn't really affect whether or not I gain a point or not. All that really counts here is the challenge credit that comes out of it. And just because there are contradicting challenges does not change the fact that the points are given to us at the time of completion. So, there's that. That's why I don't mind so much. The only thing is, the storylines are kind of pointless, and sometimes they'll be just annoying at times, depending on what the character says about it. So, yeah. We'll see what happens here. So, it won't be too much longer before I see where the gnome actually is, because the clip is coming to a close. It was only about 4 minutes and 16 seconds, so... And right at the bottom of these stairs is where that gnome happens to be. And I am so frustrated that it took me this long to figure that out. And as if the last round wasn't short enough, this one is a solid minute long. Without without transitions, of course. Just like the last one, which was 4 minutes and 16 seconds without transitions. Anyway, let's move on to the next bit, shall we? So, I bury the gnome here, and I don't even cover his head. I don't even give him that type of respect. But, you know what? No one else does it either, so, blame the game. Anyway, somebody is attacking me, and they eventually take me on out, as you may be able to see from the length of the clip. So, yeah, there we go. And as if we're alternating between shorter and longer rounds, this one is 4 minutes and 51 seconds long, without transitions. So, this one also has me burying a gnome at Pleasant Park. I only needed to bury 2, so this is the last one that I needed in order to get the challenge done. And once I finish this challenge, I will get my 20th point, which is always exciting, because that'll be that much further ahead than that I am over the rest. I hope. Neither of us know none of us know exactly how much the others have gotten. That's a complete secret to us until everyone has. That's a complete secret to us until everyone has posted their rounds onto YouTube. So yeah, that's that. So I search everywhere to see where the next mound is where I bury the gnome. And given that this round is not very close to the end of it, I don't find that for very quickly. So I'm just wandering around Pleasant Park, trying to figure that part out. There is another location where where you can bury them, but I chose Pleasant Park, I believe, because the other location was a very sweaty place. And by that I mean too many people, too many aggressive people land there. And they will do whatever it takes to win. As for me, I'm a more casual player that tends to favor getting challenges done than just simply winning the game. Because as I and Marty Jester have told you, we don't win consistently enough to make that our driving force of the game. Like, sure, there are people who actually go to win the game, and they're really good at doing so. But I and Jester, neither one, are like those people. So, okay, so I was wrong. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going on here, really. Oh, right. I was going to say I was wrong, but then I realized this is Chapter 2, Season 5, and the episode I recorded, or posted about 2 hours ago, is in Chapter 2, Season 7. So, preferred item slots could have been a thing. And if you guys are wondering why I'm even bothering with the outdated content, let me just be blunt. It's to, for TGIF, it's to get it out of the system, so that I have more room for other projects like setting the stage and all that. For Galactic Swarm Squad, it's to kind of set up a backstory, if you would, about the Questopia SMP, because canonically, all four of us, me, Jester, Vaxi, and Mirage, all participate in this war, and we all see who can get the most points. Although for the latter two, it's more about keeping the loopers in the loop than to compete. The ones that really compete are me and Jester. I bet you guys were expecting a short round this time. However, that is not the case, because in this round, we go for a staggering 6 minutes and 15 seconds to search chests at Slurpy Swamp. And probably, while not all 6 minutes and 15 seconds is spent actually searching for these chests at the swamp, because the storm catches me by that time, I still end up getting a few of them. At least 2. So, yeah, it ends up being the case where it ends up being just the type of situation where I search and I search and I search, but I don't really end up finding much. I think I dropped the blue assault rifle for the green because I was going for the challenge to eliminate opponents with common or uncommon weapons. I think that's what I was going for anyway. So I take this guy out with an assault rifle here, and then I move on with my search for more chests. Either that or a way down to get their loot, but that's beside the point. I also break these shield, these slurp barrels to get more shield back after I took that guy down, because he pretty much wiped my entire shield, and probably some of my health as well. But, you know, can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, right? I then take a swim in this vat of slurp, which restores me gradually back up to 100 shield. It would also do your health as well, but I just used it for shield in this case. So there we go. There was an instance some time ago where Jonesy and some other people were dunked into this and became slurp versions of themselves, thanks to Chaos Agent. But to this day, I have never truly replicated that method to make a slurp version of myself. So something else had to have happened to mutate it so much. He probably injected them with some sort of serum before they went in that made it to where they changed like that. And here I got my second and final chest that I managed to search this round, and somebody starts shooting at somebody. I don't know exactly who is shooting at who, but I end up doing the cone the cone technique so as to be able to get out of here. And once I get 3 of the corners raised up, I am eventually able to do so. There are some weird edits that you can do for the cones. And when you do them just right, they'll look like some Doritos standing on one of their tips. And one of my friends, Spiritai, has done that on multiple occasions and calls it the Dorito technique or something like that. It's been a while. It's been a couple of years, so it's I don't really know all of the specifics anymore. So yeah. Nowadays, he just plays Apex Legends, which if you want to move on, that's respectable. That's fine. Me personally, I can't really get into Apex Legends because it is just so different. It doesn't really help that the character abilities that game is known for is about as useless as a broken thumb. Like, they do minimal damage and they don't really do anything to a Legend's ability to wield weapons. It only the only thing that they tend to do is just to shut down the enemy's ability, which can be helpful, but not that much. Alrighty, here's the last round, and this one is the longest round in the whole video. 8 minutes and 24 seconds without transitions. And it's pretty much the same challenge. Search chests at Slurpy Swamp. This storyline was a rather interesting one, to put it lightly. Like, the whole thing about it is they were trying to prove whether Big Chuggus was one of the ancient ones, or just simply a slurped up meathead. Guess which one just so happened to be true. So, let me just say that one of them didn't want anything to do with Big Chuggus after that. If those of you who have played Chapter 2, Season 5, recognize the storyline that I'm weaving here, good for you. But for those of you who don't, I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm just going to talk about what I'm doing here and what I remember about it. Mostly due to reviewing the clips some time ago. But like at this point, I have researched into it and moved it to my account so that I could use it on Share Factory a little bit over a month ago. November the 13th, more specifically. So, yeah. Even though it's been a while since I've moved it, I still remember that particular faucet of this challenge. Who gives it, and what the storyline is about. And it is yet another minor storyline that has absolutely nothing to do with the main storyline itself. These minor storylines are they're okay. Like, there's more annoying stuff out there, like having to deal with sweats at their favored locations, like Lazy Lake, or Tilted Towers, or Sweaty Towers, or just general stuff like that. There's more annoying stuff than a minor quest line. But then again, sometimes those quest lines tend to be a little bit distracting. Fortunately, the thing about this season is that there was no real story structure to this season. Like, the only real the storyline is the eventual near explosion or near implosion or whatever of the 0 point in between this season and the next. Chapter 2 Season 5 to Chapter 2 Season 6. And you can see whenever I look in the general direction of the desert that the 0 point is becoming more and more unstable, and it's just making those little rings sort of stuff all around it. Kind of makes it look like a flower, but some really scary stuff happens when you are when you're dealing with the 0 point becoming unstable like this, because I have seen firsthand as I was escaping the island back in Season X that the 0 point was becoming a black hole. So while I was going to go to the airport and rift out of the loop from there, I was forced to rift in flight, and that was a rather rough landing. I just don't know how to describe it really. But I was down for a while after that. So the 0 point becoming unstable is a really, really scary thing. And we have Galactus to blame this time for having done it. So, honestly speaking, bringing Marvel into this almost doomed the island for the second time. Anyway, it's time to go on ahead and focus more on this than on the backstory, both of me and of the game itself. So I'm continuing to search for the remaining chests that I need to search. However, due to more people landing here than just me, that becomes a tall order, because there's just not enough chests left to search to make this into a one-shot. I mean, I have to search 7 chests, and there's not really all that many chests here extra, so the only way you would get this to be a one-shot is if you were the only one searching these chests, which is pretty well either impossible or right next to it. So, knowing that there were most likely no more chests to search, I eventually cut my losses and saved the clip. But not without trying to get on top of these crates. Alrighty, that seems to be about it for this one. Join me in the next one when I search chests at Slurpy Swamp. I get a solo victory royale. Eliminate IO guards. Gain max shields in a single match. Eliminations with 0 shields. Cookbooks from Pleasant Park. And eliminate opponents. In the meantime though, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Until then... Adios, amigos.